Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Indonesian ebook before it's gone.
Halo semua, saya Vira. Hari libur nasional Tahun Baru Islam menandai pergantian tahun Hijriah, penanggalan umat Islam yang didasarkan pada rotasi bulan. Pada sistem kalender Hijriah, hari yang baru dimulai ketika terbenamnya matahari di tempat tersebut. Dalam video kali ini, kita akan melihat ritual-ritual yang kerap dilakukan di daerah di Indonesia. Dalam kalender Islam, ada berapa hari dalam setahun dan ada berapa hari dalam sebulan? Saya akan memberitahu Anda jawabannya di akhir pelajaran ini. Ritual tahunan di Solo untuk menyambut pergantian tahun baru ini disebut kirap satu sura. Dalam parade ini, masyarakat menyaksikan benda-benda pusaka Kasunan Surakarta diarak. Mengenakan pakaian adat, para abdi dalem mengikuti dengan iringan kerbau bule keramat yang menurut kepercayaan adalah keturunan Kiai Slamet, salah satu abdi dalem pendahulu. Masyarakat yang menonton akan berebut untuk menyentuh kerbau-kerbau ini karena dipercaya menyentuhnya akan mendatangkan keberuntungan. Di Yogyakarta, pergantian tahun baru dirayakan di Pantai Baron, pesisir pantai selatan. Pantai yang dikelilingi Bukit Kapur dan berpanorama indah ini merupakan salah satu tujuan wisata Yogyakarta. Di malam menjelang satu suro, masyarakat menggelar upacara sedekah laut, yaitu ungkapan rasa syukur masyarakat dengan cara melarung berbagai hasil pertanian ke tengah laut. Aneka sesaji seperti buah-buahan dan sayuran, dan kue tradisional, potongan kepala kerbau atau kambing, dihanyutkan ke tengah laut dengan harapan agar diberi keselamatan saat menangkap ikan di laut. Di beberapa daerah lain di Indonesia, malam 1 Muharram dijelang dengan pawai obor yang digelang oleh ratusan warga muslim dari berbagai kalangan, santri, pelajar, dan masyarakat umum, bahkan anak-anak. Dalam ritual tahunan ini, masyarakat melakukan doa bersama yang dilanjutkan dengan berjalan kaki sambil membawa obor dengan diiringi musik Islami dan tarian-tarian daerah. Dari tadi saya menyebut satu suro dan satu Muharram, tetapi artinya sama saja. Suro ditulis sura adalah sebutan dalam bahasa Jawa untuk Muharram. Kata Muharram sendiri berasal dari bahasa Arab. Nah, sekarang saya beritahu jawabannya ya. Dalam kalender Islam, ada berapa hari dalam setahun dan ada berapa hari dalam sebulan? Dalam kalender Islam, ada 354 atau 355 hari dalam setahun, dan ada 29 atau 30 hari dalam sebulan. Satu tahun Hijriah lebih pendek kira-kira 11 hari dibandingkan dengan satu tahun Masehi. Bagaimana? Apa Anda bisa menemukan hal baru yang menarik? Apakah Anda setuju dengan adanya perayaan Tahun Baru Islam? Silahkan tinggalkan komentar Anda di indonesianpart101.com. Sampai jumpa di pelajaran berikutnya.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded for free on our website. So click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is, can busy people actually learn a language? You yourself probably have an answer to this question, right? But whether you can or can't actually has a bit more to do with your mindset than anything else. And in this guide, you'll discover, 1, is it possible for busy people to learn a language and the mindset needed? 2, mental bandwidth, the one thing that can make or break your language goals. And 3, 5 mindset tricks to make time for language. But first, if you're looking for new free language resources and downloads, here are this month's new lessons and resources. Be sure to download these now before we take them down in a few days. First, the Talking Online PDF cheat sheet. Learn the must-know internet slang and all the internet-related vocab and phrases in your target language with this PDF cheat sheet. And second, the 40 words and phrases for ordering food writing workbook. With this free resource, you'll pick up must-know words and phrases for the restaurant and practice writing them out as well. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Can busy people actually learn a language? Part 1. Is it possible for busy people to learn a language and the mindset needed? So, can busy people actually learn a language? What do you think? Leave us a comment and let us know. As much as we want to say yes, it's more of a yes or no depending on the person. Why yes? Yes, because many of our members are busy and are learning with our system. And some of you who are watching also fall into this camp. But it also depends on the person because it's more of a mindset thing. Either you think you have time or you don't. For example, many of our members fall into the group of can learn and can find the time, even if they're busy. If you're busy and still want to learn, if you look around, you can always find 5 or 10 minutes a day, like on a commute. Now, if your mindset is the opposite, if you think you can't learn a language or you don't have time, you won't even try, even if you had a resource that was proven to work. Part 2. Mental bandwidth, the one thing that can make or break your language goals. And if you think about it, if you had all the time in the world but felt like you couldn't learn a language, you wouldn't try either. Again, this is why it comes down to the mindset and why it all depends on each individual person. Either you think you can or you think you can't. But it may not always be this black and white either. It can also depend on your mental bandwidth too. Think back to your school days, those few days before exams. It got really busy and you had to stop everything to study, right? You were probably thinking, if I can just get through studying this week and take the test, then next week I can finally start relaxing and doing other things. And if someone asked you if you wanted to hang out, you would say no, because you're busy. But chances are you still managed to spend at least 30 minutes on YouTube or social media. Meaning you did have some time, even if you were busy. But the test was occupying your mind and taking up all that bandwidth. So it's also possible that we just don't have the mental bandwidth because we're overwhelmed. And this is a genuine reason for not being able to learn when you're busy. Don't worry, in the next part, we'll show you how to get some bandwidth so that you don't feel overwhelmed. Part 3. 5 mindset tricks to make time for language. So if you've gotten this far, you understand that it is possible to start learning a language, even if you're busy, that you can find the time, but it mostly comes down to your mindset. So how can you develop the mindset? So when you're too busy, it feels like you're overwhelmed and like you don't have control of your time. Well, there are a few things you can do to gain some control of your time, have some breathing room, and learn a bit of language. First, always set small, measurable goals. This is something that we talk a lot about here. For example, learn for 10, 15, or 20 minutes every day. Learn 100 words in 1 month, which means learning 3 to 4 words a day. And the mindset behind this is just being realistic with your goals and what you can do. Because if you're busy, you may not have 1 or 2 hours. And this is a strict rule, especially when starting out with new goals and languages. Always stick to small, measurable goals. Second, lowering your goals and expectations is okay when things get super busy. If you couldn't learn all 100 words for the month and only got up to 40 or 60, that's okay. If you tried learning on Monday and Tuesday but skipped Wednesday and Thursday, that's okay. Sometimes you have to shift priorities, and prioritizing things is a secret to a successful life. You may not get to the goal you wanted to achieve today, but you can get to it next week. Third, it's okay to put language on pause if life gets in the way. Just like with that last point, you can always come back and reach your goal a little later. We often see learners put language on pause, come back later. Some even come back years later. But the key is to come back. Fourth, Avoid the all-or-nothing mindset at all costs. And an all-or-nothing mindset is something you'll see in beginners and perfectionists. When you have this mindset, you'll say, language learning requires hours, so there's no point in learning for a few minutes today. But something is better than nothing, and even 5 to 10 minutes of review adds up in the grand scheme. And in the grand scheme, it's more important to be consistent, even if it's just for a minute a day, rather than study for hours once a week. The brain just doesn't work that way. Fifth, do you have a slowdown or relaxing routine that you do on the weekends or whenever you have free time? And if you didn't do it, you'd feel overwhelmed? Leave us a comment and let us know what it is. For some, it could be reading, watching TV, or going to a cafe and doing nothing for a bit. You're there on your own, you don't have much to do in front of you, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes. And if you're settled, you start feeling in control. And that's the point you have some mental bandwidth. You can start doing some time management and plan your week out. You can put in a few minutes of language learning. But if you don't slow down and if you feel overwhelmed, you could have the easiest possible way to learn a language, and you still wouldn't do it. So, back to you. If you were busy, do you think you'd be able to learn a language? Leave us a comment. So, thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Do you record yourself speaking your target language? If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye!
Halo semua, saya Vira. Nyepi adalah perayaan menyambut Tahun Baru Saka oleh umat Hindu di Bali yang jatuh pada tanggal 1 Saka. Berbeda dengan perayaan Tahun Baru Masehi yang hingar-bingar dengan suara trompet, umat Hindu di Bali menyambut Tahun Baru Saka dengan penyerahan total kehadirat Hyang Widi, serta berdoa semoga kehidupan di masa yang akan datang senantiasa dalam petunjuk Hyang Widi. Dalam video kali ini, kita akan mengetahui apa saja yang dilakukan umat Hindu Bali saat nyepi. Tahukah Anda nama aliran Hinduisme yang dianut di Bali? Saya akan memberitahu Anda jawabannya di akhir pelajaran ini. 2-3 hari sebelum nyepi, umat Hindu di Bali melakukan upacara melasti. Seluruh perlengkapan doa yang ada di pura diarah ke tempat yang mengalirkan air seperti laut, danau, dan sungai untuk dicuci. Makna ritual ini adalah membersihkan dan menyucikan diri manusia dan semesta dari segala kotoran. Upacara ini diikuti dengan upacara tawur, yaitu mengembalikan sari alam yang telah dipakai manusia dengan memberi persembahan tertentu sambil membaca mantra-mantra. Di hari nyepi, umat Hindu melakukan kekang penyepian, yaitu tidak boleh menyalakan api, tidak melakukan kegiatan jasmani, tidak boleh berpergian, dan tidak boleh bersenang-senang. Selain itu, mereka mengekang diri dari hawa nafsu, haus, dan lapar, menjaga keheningan dengan tidak bicara, dan memusatkan pikiran pada Hyang Widi dengan bersemedi selama 24 jam. Selama 24 jam ini pula, Pulau Bali akan gelap gulita dan sunyi senyap. Keesokan harinya adalah ngembak geni, atau bebas menyalakan api. Umat Hindu kini boleh melepaskan kekang penyepian dan berdharma santi, yaitu bermaaf-maafan kepada setiap orang, serta bergembira ria sebagai ungkapan puji syukur kepada Hyang Widi, bahwa mereka telah berhasil melaksanakan rangkaian Hari Raya Nyepi dengan selamat. Di sesetan Bali, ngembak geni dirayakan dengan omet-ometan, yaitu tradisi muda-mudi saling berpelukan dan berciuman sebagai ungkapan sukacita. Pada hari nyepi, kekang penyepian tidak hanya berlaku bagi umat Hindu, tetapi semua orang yang berada di Bali, termasuk wisatawan. Pada hari itu, akses masuk dan keluar Bali ditutup. Lingkup pergerakan wisatawan pun terbatas hanya di sekitar hotel. Nah, sekarang saya beritahu jawabannya ya. Tahukah Anda nama aliran Hinduisme yang dianut di Bali? Jawabannya Hindu Dharma. Walaupun berakar pada Hinduisme yang berasal dari India, Nyepi adalah perayaan yang hanya dilakukan oleh umat Hindu Dharma, suatu aliran yang berkembang di Bali. Bagaimana? Apa Anda bisa menemukan hal baru yang menarik? Apakah Anda pernah mengalami Nyepi di Bali? Bagaimana pengalaman Anda? Silahkan tinggalkan komentar Anda di indonesianpod101.com. Sampai jumpa di pelajaran berikutnya.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded for free on our website. So click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is how to learn a language in 2022. If you're planning to learn a language in 2022, then this episode is for you, especially if you want to finally succeed with your New Year's resolution, instead of failing or giving up in the next week or two. That's why today you'll discover 1. The 4 critical steps you need to take when learning a new language, and 2. How to set goals and New Year's resolutions that won't fail you in 2022. But first, if you're looking for some free language resources and downloads, here are this month's new lessons and resources. Be sure to download these now before we take them down in a few days. First, the Using Opposites Conversation Cheat Sheet. With this new cheat sheet, you'll learn common opposite adjectives like near and far, hot and cold, and grammar rules on how to use these words in a sentence. Second, the How to Say Goodbye PDF Writing Workbook. With this printable PDF, you'll pick up some common parting greetings and be able to practice writing them out. Third, can you talk about cars in your target language? Learn how to say words like tire, windshield, headlights, and more with this quick vocab bonus. Fourth, must know words and phrases for public transportation. Learn how to say ticket, bus, train, and much more with this quick 1-minute lesson. Fifth, the 10 habits of highly effective language learners. Wondering which habits will help you succeed with language learning? Then check out this free lesson. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. How to learn a language in 2022. Part 1. The 4 critical steps you need to take when learning a new language. Every time you start a new language, you should start with 1. Goals, 2. Anchor points, 3. Grammar, 4. Reading. What are these 4 steps, and why do you need them to succeed with language learning? Let's jump in. The first one is goals. Everything starts with a goal, but your goal itself can also lead you to failure if you don't set it the right way. So more specifically, you need to set small, measurable monthly goals instead of just, I want to learn a language and be fluent this year. We'll cover goals in the second part of this episode, so stay tuned. After goals, the second step is setting anchor points. What are anchor points? Imagine a small ship in the middle of a big lake. It's windy, lots of waves, and the ship is bobbing up and down, drifting all around. What would you use to stop the ship from drifting away? An anchor. And just like an anchor keeps the ship in place, anchor points keep you from drifting away from your language. So an anchor point is a connection to the language that keeps you attached to the language and motivated to learn the language. One great example is language school. Imagine you signed up and paid thousands of dollars up front. Paying that much would motivate you to make the most of your time there. It's also a big commitment, one that you can't easily back out of. And school dictates your schedule. You have to wake up early, you have to do homework. Your life revolves around the classes. And as such, language school and the language itself become anchor points that your life revolves around. Anchor points can also be family or a partner that speaks the language you're learning. You're around them, you're exposed to the language, so your motivation to learn gets a bit stronger. Buying a language learning program or textbook are also examples of good anchor points. You invested your hard-earned money, which means you're serious about learning. Plus, you want to make sure your investment doesn't go to waste, so you're more motivated. If you're wondering if you have any anchor points, you already have at least one. You're watching our lessons on YouTube. But the more anchor points you have, the stronger your motivation will be. So if you're into music or TV shows in your target language, those can serve as anchor points too. These are things that connect you to the language and add a bit of motivation to learn more, or at the very least, understand what you're watching or listening to. We covered goals and anchor points. What's next? The third step is you must have a good grasp of grammar of your native language. Now, you might wonder, if you're learning a new language, why focus on your native language? Well, as native speakers, the problem is we know what good grammar sounds like, but we can't explain how or why our language works the way it works. So if you don't have a good grasp of grammar, the backbone or the rules of a language, then you'll have a tough time learning a new language. You'll jump in and start learning words and phrases, but you'll never learn how to put them together and make sentences. That's a common problem beginners have. Now, if you already know the grammar of your native language, how do you apply that to your target language? For example, if you're an English speaker, and if you know that English sentences follow the subject, verb, object pattern, and if you know that languages have specific sentence patterns, then you'd go look at patterns. Then, you'd have a good idea of how to create your own sentences, instead of learning random words first. Finally, the fourth step is reading. Reading is good simply because you can do it anywhere, anytime, and without a teacher. It's a skill you can get started on day one, on your own. Reading also tends to spill over into other areas. The more you read, the more words and grammar rules you come across, so you boost your vocabulary and grammar, which can seep into speaking and listening. If you read out loud, you're practicing two skills at once. Now, we've covered what you need: goals, anchor points, reading, and grammar. Setting anchor points, knowing your own grammar, and reading are simple enough, but how do you set goals that don't lead you to failure? Part 2. How to set goals and New Year's resolutions that won't fail you in 2022. The goal that you set can make or break your language learning journey, so setting the right goals makes all the difference between success and failure. Just think about all of the common New Year's resolutions. What comes to mind? Goals like, I want to be fluent someday. I want to speak the language. I want to lose weight. I want to save more money. These big, vague goals often lead to failure because you simply have no idea how to approach the goal and you don't know what you're aiming for. Instead, your goals should be small, measurable, and monthly. For example, speak 1 minute of conversation by the end of the month. Learn 100 words by the end of the month. Finish Chapter 1 of your language textbook by the end of the month. If you're using our program, finish 20 audio lessons by the end of the month. All of these are small and specific. 1 minute, 100 words, 1 chapter, 20 audio lessons. This means that they're easy to reach, unlike something vague like fluency. They're also measurable. You know when you reach 1 minute. You can check if you know all 100 words or if you finished all 20 lessons. If you aim for fluency, you won't know when you hit it. It's too vague and too big of a goal, and it may take years to hit. Finally, all of these goals have a deadline, the end of the month. That would mean January 31st of this year. Deadlines give you a clear date to aim for, and without one, you'll forever be floating around without much progress. So set a deadline for the end of every month. So now that you know how to set small, measurable monthly goals, leave us a comment. What's your small, measurable monthly goal, and what's the deadline? So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye!
Halo semua, saya Vira. Bulan puasa adalah bulan yang ditunggu-tunggu oleh umat muslim di Indonesia. Dalam bulan ini, umat muslim berpuasa sebulan penuh, menahan lapar dan haus, hawa nafsu, dan godaan selama 30 hari sebelum mencapai kemenangan di hari Idul Fitri. Dalam video kali ini, kita akan membicarakan tradisi apa saja yang dilakukan orang Indonesia selama bulan puasa. Tahukah Anda waktu untuk mulai berpuasa dan berhenti berpuasa dalam sehari? Saya akan memberitahu Anda jawabannya di akhir pelajaran ini. Kebiasaan yang hanya muncul di bulan Ramadan adalah membangunkan orang waktu subuh untuk makan sebelum berpuasa, atau pendeknya sahur. Orang-orang akan berjalan ramai-ramai sambil memukul kentongan keliling perumahan untuk membangunkan warga dan meneriakkan sahur, sahur. Di kota besar, kebiasaan ini diganti berbicara melalui pengeras suara yang ada di masjid-masjid. Mengikuti nasihat Nabi untuk berbuka dengan yang manis, jajanan tradisional menjadi sajian yang populer selama bulan Ramadan. Pasar dan supermarket ramai-ramai menjual peganan ini. Terbuat dari tepung beras, gula merah, dan santan, dipadu dengan pisang, ubi, atau kacang-kacangan, jajanan tradisional memiliki rasa yang manis gurih. Bentuknya beragam dan warnanya bermacam-macam, mulai dari merah muda sampai hitam. Aromanya manis, yang berasal dari daun pandan. Jajanan tradisional ini menjadikan Ramadan dekat di hati semua orang Indonesia, baik Muslim maupun non-Muslim. Bukber atau buka bersama. Kata ini muncul sejak ada tradisi berbuka puasa bersama. Buka bersama biasanya dilakukan bukan dengan keluarga, tapi dengan teman sekantor, teman satu sekolah, teman satu kampus, atau teman sepermainan. Mirip seperti reuni, acara ini menjadi ajang kumpul-kumpul teman yang sudah lama tidak bertemu. Bukber bisa dilakukan di rumah makan atau di rumah seseorang. Kalau diadakan di rumah, bukber bisa diteruskan dengan ibadah tarawih. Ada dua aliran Islam yang besar yang hidup di Indonesia, yang memiliki perbedaan kriteria dalam perhitungan astronomis menentukan posisi bulan. Perbedaan perhitungan ini bisa menghasilkan perbedaan kapan jatuhnya di kalender Masehi hari pertama bulan Ramadan itu. Nah, sekarang saya beritahu jawabannya ya. Tahukah Anda waktu untuk mulai berpuasa dan berhenti berpuasa dalam sehari? Jawabannya, orang mulai berpuasa sebelum matahari terbit dan begitu matahari terbenam di waktu setempat. Jadi bagi orang yang sedang berpuasa di daerah subtropis yang mengalami musim panas, waktu puasanya bisa lebih panjang daripada orang yang tinggal di daerah tropis. Bagaimana? Apa Anda bisa menemukan hal baru yang menarik? Apakah negara Anda juga memiliki tradisi berpuasa? Silahkan tinggalkan komentar Anda di indonesianpod101.com. Sampai jumpa di pelajaran berikutnya.
Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Indonesian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Halo, jumpa lagi dengan saya, Blanca. Apakah kamu tahu bagaimana kegiatan sehari-hari hidup di Jakarta sebagai seorang pekerja kantoran? Apakah bedanya kebiasaan orang Jakarta dengan orang di kota-kota lain? Hari ini saya akan bagi cerita tentang satu hari bersama Budi. One day with Budi.
Satu hari bersama Budi. One day with Budi. A day in the life of an Indonesian.
Dengarkan baik-baik ya. Di akhir cerita, saya akan kasih kuis. Jam 4.30 dini hari, Budi terbangun oleh jam weker yang berbunyi kencang. Selesai salat subuh, Budi mandi dan bersiap untuk pergi bekerja. Budi mengendarai motor bebek selama 1,5 jam untuk pergi ke tempat kerja. Sampai di kantor, Budi sarapan bubur ayam gerobak di pinggir jalan. Dari jam 8 pagi sampai jam 5 sore, Budi bekerja di kantor sebagai seorang staf administrasi. Setelah jam pulang kantor, Budi biasanya bertemu dengan teman-temannya untuk main futsal atau sekedar kumpul-kumpul di tempat tongkrongan sambil menunggu jam macet berlalu. Nah, saya kasih kuis ya. Pertanyaan nomor 1. Jam berapa Budi bangun? A. Jam 4.30. B. Jam 8 pagi. C. 1,5 jam. Pertanyaan kedua, apa yang Budi makan di pagi hari? A. Bubur ayam. B. Gerobak. C. Salad subuh. Pertanyaan ketiga, apa pekerjaan Budi? A. Staf akunting. B. Staf administrasi. C. Manajer hotel. Ingat baik-baik jawaban kamu. Jawaban yang benar akan saya kasih tahu di akhir cerita. Oke, sekarang saya akan baca cerita tadi perlahan-lahan. Jam 4.30 dini hari, Budi terbangun oleh jam weker yang berbunyi kencang. Selesai salat subuh, Budi mandi dan bersiap untuk pergi bekerja. Budi mengendarai motor bebek selama 1,5 jam untuk pergi ke tempat kerja. Sampai di kantor, Budi sarapan bubur ayam gerobak di pinggir jalan. Dari jam 8 pagi sampai jam 5 sore, Budi bekerja di kantor sebagai seorang staf administrasi. Setelah jam pulang kantor, Budi biasanya bertemu teman-temannya untuk main futsal atau sekedar kumpul-kumpul di tempat tongkrongan sambil menunggu jam macet berlalu. Sekarang kita cek jawaban yang benar dari pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang tadi. Pertanyaan yang pertama, jam berapa Budi bangun? Jawaban yang benar adalah A. Jam 4.30. Pertanyaan kedua, apa yang Budi makan di pagi hari? Jawaban yang benar adalah A. Bubur ayam. Yang ketiga, apa pekerjaan Budi? Jawaban yang benar adalah B. Staf administrasi. Mari kita bahas kosakata-kosakata dalam cerita tadi. Jam 4.30 dini hari, Budi terbangun oleh jam weker yang berbunyi kencang. Jam weker. Jam weker. Jam weker is basically an alarm clock. Selesai sholat subuh, Budi mandi dan bersiap untuk pergi bekerja. Salat subuh. Salat subuh adalah doa yang dilakukan umat Islam sebelum matahari terbit. Di Indonesia, 80% orang beragama Islam. Mereka berdoa 5 kali sehari. Budi mengendarai motor bebek selama 1,5 jam untuk pergi ke tempat kerja. Motor bebek. Motor bebek. This means a motorcycle. Kendaraan beroda 2 yang banyak digunakan oleh orang Indonesia untuk bepergian. Sampai kantor, ia sarapan bubur ayam gerobak di pinggir jalan. Sarapan. Sarapan. Sarapan adalah makan pagi or breakfast. Bubur ayam. Bubur ayam. Rice porridge with chicken, and it usually comes with a lot of toppings on top. Pinggir jalan. Pinggir jalan. Sidewalk. Setelah jam pulang kantor, Budi biasanya bertemu teman-temannya untuk main futsal atau sekedar kumpul-kumpul di tempat tongkrongan sambil menunggu jam macet berlalu. Jam pulang kantor. Jam pulang kantor. Off work time. Tempat tongkrongan. Tempat tongkrongan. Hangout area. Tempat tongkrongan is basically means an area or a place where you hang out with your friends for a couple of hours. It could be in a coffee shop. It could be a cafe indoor with air conditioner. It could be outside on the sidewalk like a street food vendor place. Or just probably at someone's house that is comfortable for you to hang out for a few hours. Tempat tongkrongan. Jam macet. Jam macet. Traffic rush hour. Nah, itu tadi cerita si Budi dan beberapa kosakata seperti sarapan, motor bebek, pinggir jalan, tempat tongkrongan, dan lain-lain yang bisa membantu kamu mengerti lebih dalam tentang kehidupan sehari-hari di Indonesia. Hebat! Kamu mendengarkan cerita hari ini dan menjawab kuis dengan baik. Bagaimana? Apa cerita hari ini menarik? Apa hal-hal baru yang membuat kamu kaget atau bingung? Tulis di kolom komen ya. Keep practicing Indonesian. And remember, go to IndonesianPod101.com and sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Sampai jumpa lagi.
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded for free on our website. So click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is, are you an introvert or an extrovert? And how to speak more of your target language. Since you're learning the language, then you're very much aware of the importance of speaking, which can be easy if you're an extrovert or hard if you're an introvert. So, how can you speak more if you're on the shy side? Keep watching this month's episode. You'll discover who learns faster, extroverts or introverts, why learning a language can help you become more extroverted, and 5 ways to speak more, even if you're an introvert. But first, if you're looking for new free language resources and downloads, here are this month's new lessons and resources. Be sure to download these now before we take them down in a few days. First, the Sport and Exercise Conversation Cheat Sheet. Want to talk about fitness in your target language? You'll learn over 50 words and phrases for sports and exercise with this brand new cheat sheet. Second, the 40 words and phrases for ordering food writing workbook. With this free resource, you'll pick up must-know words and phrases for the restaurant and practice writing them out as well. Third, the top 12 April Fool's phrases. Want to be able to say some outrageous phrases in your target language for April Fool's Day? Then you'll want this April Fool's phrase list. Fourth, can you talk about your bones in your target language? Learn how to say words like skull, ribs, spine, and much more with this quick vocab bonus. Fifth, 20 must-know jewelry vocabulary. Do you know how to say earrings or necklace in your target language? If you don't, then this vocab lesson is for you. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? And how to speak more of your target language. Part 1. Do extroverts or introverts learn languages faster? If you've ever wondered whether introverts or extroverts learn the language faster, there have been studies done on this. And as you'd expect, extroverts do have an advantage when it comes to speaking and overall conversational skills. Of course, these studies didn't take into account mistakes you may make, such as grammar, vocab, etc. And introverts? Introverts tend to observe and listen more, and tend to be better listeners. Do you agree with these findings? Leave a comment. So the key takeaway is they each have their own advantages. One has something that the other lacks. And that makes sense, doesn't it? If you speak less, your speaking skills will be weaker. And if you want to just speak a lot, you get good at speaking but miss out on the other skills, like listening and reading. So unfortunately, you can't really say who learns faster based on personality alone, just that each one has their advantages and disadvantages. But personality aside, success with a language will always depend on your attitude towards learning itself and how much time you put in. The person that has a better chance of becoming fluent will always be the one that puts in more time to learn, practice, get feedback, adjust with the feedback, and not so much about whether they're extroverted or introverted. But what if you're an introvert who wants to be able to speak more? Is there a way to become more extroverted? Part 2. How to speak more, even if you're an introvert. There are ways to become more extroverted, at least more than your usual self. How? Well, first, by learning a language. When you learn a language, you have a natural desire to connect with native speakers, even if you're shy. Also, native speakers tend to be very supportive and welcoming when you're trying to learn their language. So even if you're shy, it's kind of hard to stay shy in the long run when the people you speak with are so encouraging. In your native language, even if you know a million ways to start a conversation, you might not try to speak to someone because you're worried about whether you have something clever to say or the timing or some other social aspect. But in another language, where you may only know a few phrases, you're not bogged down by that. You just do the best you can with the few phrases you have. Plus, learning a language alone gives you a chance to reinvent yourself. To learn another language is to acquire another soul, as the quote goes. So, learning a language alone puts you on a path towards becoming more extroverted. But if you want specific tips, here are 5 ways to speak more, even if you're an introvert. Number 1. Learn how to listen like an introvert. How can this help you to speak more? Introverts tend to listen more, and the better listener you become, the better questions you can ask, which results in a more meaningful conversation, which also means more speaking time for you. So you can speak more even if you consider yourself an introvert by listening well and asking relevant and pertinent questions. By the way, if you want to learn how to ask questions, then check out our top 25 questions you need to know, where you'll learn all about what to ask and answer regarding the most common conversational questions. Number 2, increase speaking time and confidence through experience. Simply put, the more experiences you have in life or experience with certain topics, the more knowledgeable you become. And as your life or work experiences grow, so will your audience. You'll find people coming to you to talk to you. It could be about business, travel, or just your own life stories. If a conversation is about France, and if you've been to France, the conversation will gravitate towards you. Having all that experience makes things easy for you as an introvert. People will come to you, so you don't have to find them. For a language learner, the tricks are to 1. Be knowledgeable about something, and 2. Be able to talk about your experience in the target language. Number 3. Find the right audience. Imagine talking to someone that's not interested in learning languages. They'll give you 100 reasons why they can't learn, never reasons why it might work out for them, right? But when you're talking to an audience that's interested in languages, then you can have a conversation that could go on for hours. So find the right audience to share with. With language learning, it means you need to find native speakers that share the same hobbies or interests as you. Number 4, talk about what you know best. The introvert-extrovert dynamic also depends on how much you know about a topic and what you're most comfortable with. There are topics you may not know enough about, so you won't talk as much. But even the biggest introvert can become a confident speaker once you touch upon a topic they know well. That's where they shine. So if your goal is to be more extroverted, then focus on the things you know about. Or you can always gain experience in topics you don't know much about so you can speak more. Number 5, create opportunities to speak. How? Well, it's hard to stop a stranger and start talking with them without any context, right? But what if you need help finding something at a store, or have a question about a dish at a restaurant? Then it's much easier since you're there with a purpose. So you can create these opportunities by going to a restaurant from the country that speaks your target language and speaking with the staff, or asking a taxi driver a question, or asking staff at an information booth a question. So to recap, if you want to speak more, even if you're an introvert, 1. Listen like an introvert. 2. Increase speaking time and confidence through experience. 3. Find the right audience. 4. Talk about what you know best. And 5. Create opportunities to speak. So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about how tipping points will bring you closer to your language goals. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye!
Halo semua, saya Vira. Maulud Nabi Muhammad adalah hari besar bagi umat Islam untuk memperingati hari lahir Nabi Muhammad SAW. Walaupun benar tidaknya perayaan Maulid ini masih menjadi perdebatan. Peringatan ini masih terus diadakan di seluruh dunia, termasuk di Indonesia. Peringatan Maulud di Indonesia sendiri menjadi tradisi yang beralkulturasi dengan budaya setempat. Dalam video kali ini, kita akan membicarakan tentang berbagai tradisi peringatan Maulud di Nusantara. Tahukah Anda tanggal berapa Nabi Muhammad SAW lahir? Saya akan memberitahu Anda jawabannya di akhir pelajaran ini. Di Kalimantan Selatan, puji syukur atas kelahiran Nabi Muhammad SAW diungkapkan dalam bentuk ritual membaca doa dan syair-syair Islam sembari mengayun anak dalam ayunan. Tradisi yang disebut bayun ini berakar dari adat suku Dayak yang intinya mendoakan anak agar jika sudah besar nanti menjadi orang yang sehat, berbakti kepada orang tua, serta dapat mengikuti teladan Nabi Muhammad SAW. Ayunannya dibuat dari kain yang dihiasi janur, kue, uang logam, dan aneka buah. Sekaten adalah perayaan menyambut Maulud khas Jawa yang berasal sejak zaman Kerajaan Demak, kerajaan Islam pertama di Jawa. Di Solo, sekaten dimulai seminggu sebelum hari Maulud dengan membunyikan gamelan pusaka di bangsal Masjid Agung. Gamelan ini dimainkan sejak pagi hingga petang selama 7 hari dan hanya berhenti di waktu sholat. Pada hari Maulud, 2 tumpeng raksasa yang sudah didoakan akan diarak keluar dari keraton. Pengunjung yang berasal dari daerah sekitar Solo akan berebut mengambil nasi dan buah-buahan dari tumpeng tersebut agar mendapat berkah. Di Cikoang, Sulawesi Selatan, tradisi Maulud yang disebut Maudu Lompoa dirayakan dengan menghias kapal nelayan yang biasanya dipakai untuk menangkap ikan. Pada hari Maulud, penduduk Cikoang mengenakan pakaian tradisional, berbaris sambil membawa julung-julung yang berisi telur hias, ayam, beras setengah matang, beras ketan, mukena, kain khas Sulawesi, serta aksesoris lainnya. Julung-julung ini diletakkan di dalam perahu dan dihiasi kain warna-warni. Perahu-perahu yang cantik itu kini bebas dinikmati penduduk dan nantinya telur-telur dan seluruh isi julung diperebutkan oleh warga. Perayaan Maulud Nabi pertama kali dilakukan pada abad ke-13 yang lamanya 1 bulan. Ribuan orang saat itu berkumpul di satu tempat untuk mengadakan pesta besar-besaran yang disertai bagi-bagi hadiah. Sekarang, perayaannya lebih sederhana, merujuk pada nasihat Nabi untuk tidak memestakan hari lahir seseorang. Nah, sekarang saya beritahu jawabannya ya. Tahukah Anda tanggal berapa Nabi Muhammad SAW lahir? Maulud adalah peringatan hari kelahiran Nabi Muhammad yang dirayakan setiap tanggal 12 Rabiul Awal tahun Hijriah. Akan tetapi, pada tanggal berapa tepatnya Nabi Muhammad lahir masih menjadi perdebatan. Bagaimana? Apa Anda bisa menemukan hal baru yang menarik? Bagaimana tradisi Maulid lain yang pernah Anda kenal? Silahkan tinggalkan komentar Anda di indonesianpod101.com. Sampai jumpa di pelajaran berikutnya.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Indonesian ebook before it's gone.